Welcome to the Purple Rose. Today we're in Oxford, Georgia, and I'm going to be sharing with you legends passed down from generations to generations. Today we're at Oxford College in Oxford at the old church, and you can see it right here. The story begins that Bishop Andrew had inherited a slave girl, and she didn't want to be free, and she wanted to continue to serve the family. So he built this cottage behind the church to keep her, so she would be near next to him. So we're going to walk back here, and we're going to look at this cottage. But today, I have a special guest today named Ashley, and she's going to tell you the story that really happened.
Hey, I'm Ashley. So, Oxford, Georgia is historical, right? But one of the most historical places that I've learned about since I've lived here is, the story of what really happened with Kitty. So, we are here now today at Kitty's cottage. So, as Gwen said, there was a story of a slave that was freed, and for whatever reason, she did not want to be freed. So the real story that locals will tell you is that he was in love with her. She was a young slave, but back then, things were kind of different. So they had a love story to tell. So this place is actually the plot of that love story. So within the love story, of course, he was in the church. He was, pastoring all these people in this local town. And so when they found out that he loved this girl so much that he wanted to build her a home in the back of the church. That's crazy, right? And he had a wife. So eventually the church actually turned against him. At one point in time, they would have to go back to court, do a lot of things, right? So I'm going to show you the actual cottage. And it's pretty nice too. So over the years, they have, built walking trails, and there's all kinds of stuff that goes on back here. But it's a real place. I think they even kind of like try to keep it up over the years. But this is the actual cottage. And people just come out here and fish and walk, during the day. So like I said, there's been some cleanup for sure. And they've done things to kind of keep it clean. You can't go in there, but this is the actual cottage. And like I said, they've cleaned it up. They've done some things over the years. But this is it.
And you can take tours on here, but you have to book it through the visitor center. And I don't know how much it is. I called today, but nobody answered the phone. So it's supposed to be a museum now. And I would look in that window, but there's a lot of spiders right there. Maybe we can find another window to look in. Oh, there's some nice stairs right there.
Yeah, but you can't go in. Yeah, they've sealed it over the years, I guess, because they want to keep crime minimum too. They don't want people breaking in there and, playing with stuff. So you can't go in there. But
There's a window. Let's see if I'm tall enough. Maybe I can hold the camera up there and see if we can see anything. Alright, so I'm not too tall, but maybe you can see something in the window. Tell me if you watch this video, if you see anything in there.
so it's a cool little haunted love story because they say that Kitty will still linger every now and then. You could probably see real good in that window too, but there's spiders everywhere.
Look at these spiders, people. Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna hold it up to this window. Hold on. Gonna hold it up to this window and you can see if you see anything. But look at those spiders. They say if you come out here that she sometimes walks and you can talk to her. So I don't know if she'll come out today or not. But here's a monument to her, or some kind of marker.
But that's Bishop Arthur Moore, and that's the bishop.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you Google, there's like lots of different versions of what happened. But like I said, the locals will tell you that it was a love story. He loved her. He wanted, you know, like most men, they want their cake and eat it too. And he wanted his wife, and he wanted the person he was in love with. So he built her a house. And Kitty went on and had kids, and she died pretty young too, from what I remember reading. But that's where they lived.
Yep, and this is the old church. See, they got steps going back down to the back of it. And look what I found over here. I wonder if that was one time a plantation house with the big white columns. I wonder if you can see it through the woods. Let me walk down so you might have to make the picture bigger, but there's this huge house with white columns over there. And it looks like there's a pond for fishing. And back here some trails you can go on. Now, if you watch my videos, I told you guys that I wasn't going to make any more haunted stuff because sometimes when I go to these cemeteries and places, my car won't start. And I gotta call AAA out and they find nothing wrong with it. So this is my first haunted one in a long time. So Kitty, if you're out here, can you give us a sign? We mean no disrespect to you. We just want to see you. And I'll tell you that times have changed. And supposedly people are all treated equally. Look down there, there's a little walking trail. Oh, like you can hear people, they caught something in the river, they're fishing, having a good time. And then there's a trail that goes down this way. You see this old bridge down there through the woods? You could walk down here. You could have a picnic over here. But yep. Then Oxford College is around here. But yeah. So I wonder if there's any electricity to it. Let's see. I don't see any. Well, Kitty hasn't showed us. I have a K2 meter, but my special guest doesn't want to get involved with that, so I'm going to respect her wishes. But, so if you see anything, let me know. Well, I don't see no. Well, there has to be electricity because there's some spotlights right there. So I guess a K2 meter wouldn't be the best thing. And look at this old church. So it's been remodeled, so it's probably not the original one. So I'm going to show you the front of the church in case you want to come. Looks like there's some wheelchair accessory right here in case you're handicapped. There must be a fruit tree, a pecan tree. Look, there's pecans on the ground. Look at that staircase, if you can see it. I'd be scared to walk up the staircase. Okay, so we're at the front of the church now. Here's your marker.
Confederate Hospital from 1862 to 1864. Wings and stage were added by Bishop and Haygood, 1878. Restored by 1932 by Bishop Candler. So this church itself has a lot of history.
Yeah. I love how it has a little old-timey little stone.
March, all of that happened in this area. kind of cool to think before there was roads and houses that all of this was war zone.
Could you imagine living through that? And Sherman marched down here to. So the soldiers in Tennessee couldn't get access to food. He burnt all the access points down. So if you're ever in Oxford, Georgia, you should come by and check it out. I'm gonna walk over to that plaque and see what that one says. And thanks for all my subscribers not leaving my channel. I haven't made a video in a couple months. I got to work my nerve up to do some more haunted videos. Let's see what this plaque says. Here you go. Probably the same thing. Here's some more information about the old church. And I love all these crepe myrtles. And there's a big picture of the church. Well, thank you for tuning in to the Purple Rose.